The World Folktales and Music Show combines original and traditional stories with folk instruments from each country. It starts off with an original Scottish tale entitled Angus MacDonald's Nose, followed by tunes on the bagpipes. Next is a traditional Irish story called The Man Who Had No Story to Tell, accompanied by an Irish penny whistle. This is followed by a Japanese fable, Kotaro and the Magic Nose Fan, an original Spanish narrative, Las Ranas del Lago de Titicaca, accompanied by panpipes, and a Pecos Bill story complete with rope tricks. Richard also tells a Hawaiian story with a ukulele, an Italian tale with a mandolin, and an African myth with a talking drum. Let's listen to some short clips from the show. He knocked on the door. The great oak doors swung open. And sure enough, inside there was a great party going on. It was a party in honor of a great chieftain who just died. And all the people turned and looked at him and said, "Brian, nice to see you, Brian. Look who's here. It's Brian O'Brien himself. Nice to see you, Brian." Thing was, he'd never seen any of these people before in his life. Then the head man of the village, a big burly fella, came over to him and said, "Brian, good to see you. Good to see you, Brian. Come over here. We're going to have a pint. Yeah, come over here. That's right. Now sit down, lad." "No, I'd rather stand if you don't mind." "I said sit down." "No, really, I'd rather stand if you don't mind." "I said sit." Okay. One day, he was walking along on the trail, and he heard a sound. He heard a little sound coming from behind a rock. It sounded like this. It was a big old rattlesnake. Pecos Bill said, "Well, I'm going to have me a look-see, see what that is." He stuck his face there. Bam! That thing sprang at Pecos Bill quick as a coyote. He grabbed it, spun around. He said, "I got you now," and began to squeeze. And all the poison began to drip out of the fangs of that snake. Which left that poor old snake limp as a rope and tired as a horned toad on a hot summer day. Angus bowed low to the judge, though the judge was a meanie, and inflated his nose like a big green zucchini. Then he hummed and he scrunched up his face very thin, and the noise that came out from his nose was akin to the sound of the bagpipes. It made Angus grin. The crowd stood agog at the size of the sound, and mouthfuls of fish and chips dropped onto the ground. So if you're ever in Scotland and the bagpipes you hear, and you look all around and no piper is near, then look for the lad whose nose is just grand, and that'll be Angus leading the band.